Got some work to do. I'm using my phone to film first because I can actually see and hold it up. And I use this camera. Lord knows, I'm outside today, so I don't even know if this is gonna work with the lighting. So I'm gonna make some more of these keychains. Oh my goodness, there's the wind. And I've got some tools here, a bigger tray, my silicone cups. I'm gonna make some dog tags the same to match. And more tools. I need these cups to mix the resin. Yeah, because when I start doing this, I have to wear my respirator. Isn't it pretty? And this is the resin down here. And the hardness, so sticky. I hate. Ugh. And you have to have on gloves. So I'm going to mix the resin. I'm just going to put the same amount of resin and harden. I'm just going to put the same amount of resin and harden. Oh, my trusty alcohol, because when you get the sticky resin on your gloves and your hands, you can wipe it easily on this alcohol soaked paper towel. So I'm gonna mix that. I can't mix it and get all that sticky stuff in my hand and handle the camera, so I'll be back once it's done because that's a process in itself. You got equal amounts of resin in there and hardener. That's amazing. Right? If I wasn't holding the camera, I would tilt it on the side and put all that in there, but anyway. So then I'm going to, you see, you can't hear me probably because I have the respirator on. So like, sound like something from Star Wars. So I'm gonna mix. This cup needs to go because it can confuse you and you don't want to pick it up later. So I'm gonna mix this for 3 minutes and then pour it into another cup and then stir that for another 3 minutes. I don't think being outside was that smart because it's hot. But it's beautiful. So trying to speak with the respirator on was not good for sound quality. So I decided to take out that audio and insert a voiceover. So here I've just mixed up all the resin and I'm starting to pour it into the molds. Also doing this outside. I mean, lighting is always a tricky issue even inside. So I couldn't see anything out there. So I had no idea if I was near the top or whatever. But here I'm just mixing up some black mica to give the clear resin some color. Since I'm making my keychains, I know that this is the base that I use for it, and I just add some gold mica with it. You have to be careful how much mica you add. You add too much, and the resin will not set. But isn't that pretty? So I know I was requested, yeah, an L, an M, no, an L, an N, and a K. I know those were definitely requested in with the gears. And I'm also doing some luggage tags and some dog tags in the same design. Since I had them there, I might as well. And that's a good way to use up any extra resin. So now I'm going to make some gold and white ones as well. So I'm just adding a little bit of gold and white alcohol ink, which you can also color it with that instead of the mica. But actually, I'm putting some actual. It's not gold. It's like a whitish gold mica in with the alcohol ink. Alcohol inks are very transparent. And you can't just keep adding more and more to hope it will go opaque. It will just ruin your resin. So you have to know what you're using and what you're using it for. So in this one, I'm just adding some gold and somewhat clear so I can have a see-through section of some of the letters. I'm now adding some glitter for the background. Just gold, bronze, and some silver specks. I'm just flicking over the black resin. I'm doing this before I actually put on the actual gear mechanisms. And then I just move it around. Since I have about 25 minutes before it starts to harden, I can just use a toothpick to move some of the clusters of glitter around so they're not stuck in one section of the letter. And I'm using my torch. You have to be so careful using a torch on the letter mold, because if you, that's why I'm doing down, up, because I've done that before. You put it in one area too long and you will ruin your mold. You will not be able to use that because it will just be a hot mess. So I learned from that mistake. I have a heat gun, but it was downstairs and I didn't feel like bringing it upstairs. So I was just so careful. I'm like, please, please, please don't mess this up. So now I'm starting to look at the different gears that I want and decide what I'm going to add in with. It's been about 24 hours. Not quite, but it's good enough. So I'm gonna, while these were still in here, I did use some of the UV resin to kind of mold the top of it. It's not quite domed. I call it doming. It's like when you put, I'll show you. I did a little bit here, but I'm gonna see if I can get some out. There's my key. That's what it looks like. So there's some work to be done because that one's, but that's what happens anyway when you try to dome it on top and some of the resin runs out. I got this A. It looks good. This will be for his school bag in September when he goes back to school. Take the L out. So still have some work to be done on that. So what I would do is just take some scissors, try to even see if I can cut any. So I have to be careful. So I can cut some of the pieces that are really sticking off. That's why it pays to be careful when you do this, so you don't have to do all of this at the end. And then I will take some either a nail file or, well, this is just a buffer attachment. It's not going to take a whole lot. Let me put a different attachment on there. This comes in handy. I'm not going to put it there because then I'll drop it. Let me see. I was looking at some of the footage that I shot with the camera yesterday, and I was like, yeah, you can't. Once I had my respirator when I was speaking, you couldn't understand a word I was saying. So, oh shoot, I'm gonna slide the shotgun back in. Okay, so we won't have a problem hearing this, that's for sure. I don't know what that'll do. I could actually just cut that. You have to be careful that you don't go in places that you don't want to go. So this is not for fine work. This is just for like getting off the big pieces. This is all I should have on that. And why I don't like doing this in here anyway. You would have people that I guess would edit all this stuff. Like, I don't have time for this. This is real life. Boo-boo. Yeah. Okay. So it takes some finessing. But that's what I'll be working on this afternoon. And I might as well do this one. I think the M So I'm gonna do the M first. Show you. I'll put it there. I don't know if you can see that. Take the resin. I can't recommend. I mean, this resin that I'm using is fine. I just purchased it from Amazon, so it was like, it's got like 500 grams in here. So this is like, it's $40, right? For this, but it lasts a lot longer than the smaller tubes, obviously. By the time we get it shipped to the island, I'm paying like $70 for it. So remember yesterday I only filled these halfway or 3/4 of the way up, and then I put maybe I should turn this way so you can see better. A GoPro. No, I don't. There we go. And then I just put these in here so I have some space. So I just take the resin. This is why I like the resin, because I could go and mix some more this UV resin, the regular epoxy resin. But you know, that's a whole lot of mess. So I just take this UV resin and just fill carefully. That's where you have to be careful. And that needs to go down some more. I just try to keep squeezing it so I don't end up putting a whole lot of air bubbles in it. If I find me stop, start, then you just introduce more air. If this stuff is trial and error, you learn by your mistakes, no matter how costly, but you will learn. Well, that's if you're interested in learning. And that's going to go over, but in order for me to cover it, it's going to have to just eyeball it and I hope for the best. So I just keep moving it. Okay. And then I have to move this over. I hope I had that on the camera unit because I wasn't even looking at the camera just now. All right, so this is so nice. My sister's a nail technician, and she gave me her nail lamp. And then I just put this on top of it for about, just started 90 seconds. And it's going to instantly cure it, make it hard. And that's what I like about this. You don't have to wait 24 hours, and it's not as toxic definitely as the epoxy resin. It has its drawbacks too. So it's one of the lighting, you have to be in good lighting, like, because when you're doing it, it's so hard to see if you're going over close to the edge, and if you don't, then you're gonna have like a divot or something in there. So I'm gonna leave that on, and then I might as well, while that's waiting. That's one thing I like about using the UV resin is that you don't have a whole lot of worry about, oh my god, this is gonna harden or whatever. I mean, if you leave it outside, because you know the sun has its own UV rays, and that'll eventually cure it and make it hard too, but it's not gonna do it instantly, so you have so much more working time. I don't like doing big projects or big items with it because then you're using so much of this. Uh-oh, I see a... don't worry about that. This is called In Real Life. What is it? IRL or something? Yeah, In Real Life. Yeah. And I think I got it also. No, see, look. I gotta keep going a bit. So this is the dog tag. So doggy and owner can have matching keychain and dog tags. There you go. I've done more. I have my bigger ones like this, diamonds and pearls. You can actually put a name on here. There you go. So I can move this to the side. And my friend over here. This does not, the UV lamp does not have a very long cord, so I have to be so careful. So there you go. So that's 99 seconds. Not 90 seconds, 99. Not 100 seconds, 99. All right, we'll put that back and turn this so I can see what I'm doing. It's still upside is, and I should probably, I don't know why I'm doing this. I don't even was interested, because if you want real tutorials on this, just look on YouTube, because that's how I learned. I don't need to recreate the wheel. There's enough tutorials out there. I am just showing you what I do. And there is the M. I hope you can see that. Why does that look like it's upside down? I really hope it's not. Okay, and you can see where the clear parts are. And then I'll clean this up later. Now, to be safe, I'll probably put it back underneath here. Just underneath there for maybe another 60 seconds, just to make sure. And then I might as well let you share the space with this guy. Where is he? I can't see him, this stupid thing. Whatever. There you go. There they are, baking under the UV light. So 60 seconds is not going to be enough, so put it on for 90 something seconds. So there you have it. Now this one, see all my junk on my table? Huh? I laugh when I see these professional looking videos on YouTube and everything's all clean. Whatever. I'm talking about that. So here's my V, my friend, and damn that one. But then I just take my good friend here. And up the hole. Oh, this is a very tiny drill bit, huh? Right there. There's always some residue that's left down there. There's not much I can do about that. Try to knock it out, but you're always gonna have something. And then I will have to find my attachment pieces, screw them in, and with the jump rings and all that. The screws, the eye screw will go in there, jump ring there, open it up, and then put the tassels on. And Bob's your uncle, there she is. So that's it. Not rocket science. It just creates a whole lot of mess if you're messy like me, because I am and I do this stuff. But it is what it is. How are you doing, Mr. Doggy? Tag. Is it done? I think so. There we go. I like these ones because it has a hole. That hole makes it so much easier for me to put an attachment on later. I mean, even though it gets covered by the resin, it's easy. I know the center is just take my little drill friend, Bob's uncle, but look at that. And then you can put them. Oh Lord, I just dropped it. Ah, Sonny, face flat, face down. So yeah, pretty. So I have some other things to do that will probably be a little bit more interesting. So there you have it. You see the pretty end product, but it's kind of ugly in the beginning and the middle. What can I say? My sister is selling them at her job, Keys Creations, and my husband sold some at his school, and then my other sister sold them at her job, and because I don't know how to go about selling them. I don't know. That's what I'm not too good at. I'm good at making stuff, I'm not good at selling it and letting it go, but it is what it is, so let's check it later.